Hi everyone, good day. My name is Ryan Jane Timunan, and we'll be talking about the net present value or the simply NPV. So the net present value is it represents the difference between the present value of a project, its expected cash inflows, and present the value of its cash outflows through its duration. Simply put, it measures how much a project will increase or decrease, or a company value today after accounting for the time value of money. So, what's exactly is NPV? So, it's a financial tool that help us measures whether a project will increase or decrease a company's value. So, but here's the key: it takes into account the time value of money. Now, let's pause there. So, time value of money means 1 peso today will not be the same 1 peso tomorrow. Why? Because 1 peso today can be spent, invested, or deposited in the bank to earn interest. So, at the same peso in the future won't have the same purchasing power because of inflation and loss of opportunity. So, as a banker, I see this principle all the time. So my client often present business proposal like putting up a store or expanding operations. So on paper, they show impressive future profits, but as a financial professionals, we don't just take those numbers as they are. So we need to bring those future earnings back into today's value and then ask, so does this project still make sense when we account for the time value of money? So that's where the NPV comes in. So it gives us clearer or more realistic picture. So let's break it down simply. So the net present value is equals to present value of cash inflows less present value of cash outflows. So, in plain language, if the NPV is positive, the project creates value, so it's worth investing. While if NPV is negative, the project destroys value, so it's best be avoided. So, think of this way. So imagine you invest 1,000 today. If the money get back in the future, so adjusted today's values is 1,200. So that's a positive NPV. So great deal. But if you only get 900 in today's terms, so then that's a negative NPV. So you actually lost value. So NPB answers every practical question. So, am I really getting more than what I put in once I account for time? So, yun. So, next is what is the use of NPV? So, first is for decision making. So, it's important in business and finance because it helps us in this way, for decision making, it tells us directly whether to accept or reject a project, or positive, go for it, but it's for negative, don't risk it. Second, for comparing alternatives. So sometimes we face two or more projects. So NPV help us see which project truly adds the most value. The third, measuring profitability. So it doesn't just say if a project is profitable, but it also how much wealth it contributes to the owner's shareholders. And then lastly, acknowledging the time value of money. So unlike simpler methods, NPV adjusts all future cash inflows into today's money, giving us realistic measures of worth. So, from a banker's point of view, this is the same principle we use when we evaluating loan applications. So, a client might say, "My business will earn millions in 5 years," but when we discount those future earnings back today, so sometimes the value is much smaller or even negative. That's why NPV is a critical check on overly optimistic projections. So next, the formula of net present value. So here's the formula. Net present value is the sum of the summation of from t equals to 0 to n of cash flows at a time t, so divided by 1 plus r raised to the power of t. So where CFT is the cash inflow at year t, or R is the discount rate. So this is the cost of capital or required return. So T as the time period and N is the project life. So now this may look technical, but the idea is actually simple. So first is take each expected future cash inflow. Second is discount it back into today's value using the discount rate. And third, add them all together. And fourth, subtract the initial investment. So the final result tells you whether your project creates or loses value. So it's like translating future money into today's money so we can compare fairly. So let's use the example here. Sage Company is considering two potential projects. So Project S for short term and Project L for long term. So the company wants to determine which project will add more value to shareholders. So Project S, as you can see, it is the most inflows come in in the early years, and the Project L cash inflows are larger in the later years. So both projects have equal risk, and the cash flows are already adjusted for taxes, depreciation, and salvage value. And initial investment includes any necessary investment in fixed assets and working capital. So all cash flows are assumed to occur at the end of the year. So the requirements are, let's find the present value of each flows, including the initial investment. Second is calculate the net present value by summing all discounted cash flows. And third, decide which projects should be accepted. Projects are independent or projects are mutually exclusive. So let's apply with this example from Sage Company. So step one, so we have to calculate the discount factors. So we use the formula discount factors equals 1 divided by 1 plus r raised to the power of t. So at where r at 10% factors of the given year. So at first year, we have um, 0.909. So how do we get that? So the formula uses 1 plus 1, 1 plus r, and then R is the discount rate or cost of capital in the Sage Company problem. So R is 10% or equals 0.10. So 1 plus R equals 1 plus 0.10 equals 1.0. So that's where the 1.0 comes from. So it represents the growth factor of money each at 10%. So using discounting, when we discount future cash flows, so in for the example given, in year one, so we have 1 divide 1.1, so we get 0.0909. So in year two, so 1 divide 1.0 raised to the power of 2, we get 0.26. So on and so forth from year 2 to year 4. So each year, the denominator gets bigger because the money is farther into the future, and therefore worth less in today's terms. So this is like the exchange rate between future money and present money. So for example, 100 is to be received in year 4 is only worth 68.30 today. So next, step 2, so calculate present value of cash flows. So project S. So to get the present value, we simply multiply the cash flow to discount factors. So as you can see to the um, given example. So when we talk about year 0, in net present value problems, we are referring to the starting point of the project. So at that time, the company spends money to begin the investment. So in our example, year zero is equals to negative 1,000. So the 1,000 peso and negative sign means it's in outflow of cash. So this represent the initial investment cost like buying equipment, building facilities, or funding a working capital. So in year one, we have 500 pesos cash flow multiplied by 0.909 our discounted factors. So we get 454.55. So some procedure or process from year 2 to 4, and we get the present value total of 1,078.55 pesos. So the total present value for project S, sorry. So 1,078 and 55. So present value, we have 1,078.55 less present value of cash outflows 1,000 pesos. So we have 78.55 net present value. So for project L, for long-term inflows, same process with project S here. So in same year 1 to 4th, so the total present value is 1,999.63. So present value of cash flows of 1,099.63 less present value of cash outflows of 1,000, we get 99.63 pesos. So in step three, so the decision making. So if the project are dependent, so we have to accept since both NPVs are positive. So if the project are mutually exclusive, so pick just one, pick project L because project L is greater than project S. Project S has 78.55 peso and Project L earns 99.63 peso. So for the final table and the final answer, to summarize the Sage Company case, so for the Project S, its NPV is 78.55. Accept the independent? Yes. Accept if mutually exclusive? No. Kasi kung sa mutually exclusive, isa lang dapat ang pipiliin natin. So for Project L, we have 99.63. Accept if independent? Yes, pwede kasi pwede dalawa ang pipiliin since dalawa sila nag-earn. And then for accept if mutually exclusive, yes pa din. So this table makes the decision clearer while both projects are profitable. So project L creates greater value, and the key points here is net present value is a direct measure of value creation. So if it's positive, the project is adding value, and it's negative, the project is losing money. So timing, of course, is really matters. So early cash inflows are more valuable than later ones. So that's why project S look good initially. And then higher NPV wins. So if you can only select one project, always choose the one with the higher NPV. So in banking perspective, this is so powerful because some clients may want loans for project with quick but small payoffs, while others propose projects with bigger returns that take longer. So by applying NPV, we can objectively see which project really adds more value, not just which one sounds are exciting. So to wrap it up, no, everything's up. So NPV is like just financial compass. It points us in the right direction when making investment decision. It respects the time value of money also. Always remember that 1 peso today is stronger than 1 peso tomorrow, and it really helps us in project decision comparison, profitability, and analysis and risk. So as a banker, I depend on the principle when receiving projects, Every loan we approve has to create real value today, not just optimistic figures for tomorrow. So, whether you're in business or owner deciding a project, an investor planning, or for your portfolio, or simply managing personal finances, always check the NPV. It answers the big question. So, is today's sacrifice really worth tomorrow promise? So, that would be all about my presentation. So, thank you for listening and watching.